Hi, this instructional video is a continuation on simplifying rational expression, adding and subtracting complex fractions, that is. We have three different denominators. In this case, there's nothing in common. So you know the common denominator has to have all three terms, x plus 1, 2x minus 3, times the x combined together. However, if you take this separate quotient, 4x only has x plus 1. So what will we need to make this a complete common denominator is to multiply to the top 2x minus 3 and dx. So let me write that over here. So 2x minus 3 times dx must go with the 4x, the first numerator, plus, now the second one. The second one already has 2x minus 3. But what is this one missing? It needs the x plus 1 with an x. So, x plus 1 times the x times the second numerator times 5. Finally, minus is a continuation of the common denominator. Now what does this 4 need? Only has x. So this numerator 4 will need x plus 1 and 2x minus 3 to multiply it. X plus 1, 2x minus 3 times that numerator 4 now. And finally, that way all three numerators will have a common denominator sharing. So we have to start evaluating. It's a mess, I know. So in this case, let's do this over here first. 2x minus 3 times x, you know it's going to become 2x squared minus 3x. Times that with the remaining 4x. Do another distributive property, you know it's going to be 8x cubed. And then if you do it to the second term, that's going to become minus 12x squared. So now let's write that over here. So we get 8x cubed minus 12x squared. Now the second numerator, let's evaluate that. X plus 1 times x, you know it's going to become x squared plus x times the term 5. And distribute that as well, you get 5x squared plus 5x. Luckily it's a plus. You'll know what I mean in a minute when I mention that. So it's plus 5x squared plus 5x. Now the third numerator. Now be careful of the minus. Let's first apply, that's the easy one. 2x minus 3 times 4. That's going to give me 8x minus the 12. That was easy. However, times that with another binomial, x plus 1. We have a FOIL method going on. So we get x times 8x is 8x squared. X times negative 12 is negative 12x. Now, 1 times 8x is plus 8x. I'm encroaching onto the next problem area. 1 times negative 12 is negative 12. Combine the middle term of this guy, and I get minus in parentheses. Remember, whenever there's a minus between the expressions, the signs will change. I get 8x squared from here. These two terms combine to become negative 4x minus the 12. All over this factor form. Let's put that in a factor form. Worry about that later. There we go. So now let's evaluate, but let's first change this guy. You know what? Because I want to just combine them together right now. So negative minus 8x squared, that becomes plus 4x. That becomes plus 12 if I were to write this expression without the parentheses. And the reason why I do that is I want to combine it with other terms out here. So here's what we have. Any other cubes? Nope. So that's going to become 8x cubed. Any squares? That one, that one, that one. Negative 12x squared, 5x squared is negative 7x squared. Negative 7 and negative 8 becomes negative 15x squared. Any x terms? Here's 5x. Here's 4x. They're both positive, so plus 9x. Any integers, constants? Nope. So plus 12. all over. Since this is in a expanded form, let's go ahead. Yeah, let's do that. So here, if I were to combine these three terms, we end up with x plus 1 times 2x times x is 2x squared. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Now apply the FOIL method. I end up with 2x cubed. And x times negative 3x is negative 3x squared. And 1 times 2x squared is plus 2x squared. They combine to become negative x squared. And finally, 1 times negative 3x is minus 3x. Yucko! But there it is! Alright, so why don't you try this one now? Okay, now unlike the first one, where all the denominators were simplified, you notice on the first quotient, this binomial can actually be simplified. So you realize 3x squared minus 3, they share a common term of 3. Common factor of 3. So if you factor out the 3, what you have remaining is x squared minus 1. But wait, you could recall that x squared minus 1 is a conjugate of a binomial. It's an opposite of two binomials multiplied together. And you should recall that it is actually a multiple of x plus 1 and x minus 1. So here's what we got. The first denominator is made up of 3 and x plus 1 and x minus 1. The second quotient has already x minus 1. And the third one has 6x. So to make everybody happy, we need to give to every denominator the factors they do not have. Meaning, to the 6x, we have to give, well, the entire thing, I guess, 3x squared minus 3. And whatever you give downstairs, you have to give it up here also. It's looking a little weird. So on this one, x minus 1 is already there. So we have to multiply 6x as well as 3 times x plus 1, or 3x plus 3. And to the first denominator, the only thing this guy is missing is a 6x. So we're going to multiply the 6x to the numerator over here. So here's what we have. Here we go. It turns out when you multiply the 6x, this one becomes 60x squared. Over here, well, 6x times 4 is 24x, and 24x times 3x becomes 72x squared. And 24x times 3 is 72x. And this one, 5 times 3x squared is 15x squared. And 5 times a negative 3 is negative 15. All over 6x times 3 times x plus 1 times x minus 1. Those were all the different denominators put together. Alright, now let's combine all the like terms. 60x squared, 72x squared, and 15x squared. If I do my math correctly, it ends up to become 147x squared. Plus the 72x, nothing to combine with that guy, minus the constant 15. All over all the factors down here. 6x times 3 times x plus 1 times x minus 1. Now if you noticed, these coefficients 147 and 72 and the constant 15, they have a common factor of 3. So if I factor out the 3, what we get remaining is 49x squared plus 24x minus the 5. And on the bottom we have 6x times 3 times x plus 1 times x minus 1. And out of all that hard work, only thing that you could simplify is the coefficient 3 with that 3. So what do we have remaining as the final answer? It's not too pretty, but it's a good answer of 49x squared plus 24x minus 5 all over these factors, which are 6x times x plus 1 times x minus 1. And let's leave it at that. Wash your hands, go home. See you in class.